So now what I'm going to go through is like it's called my 6-step system. All right. And it's going to be like, what your company is going to look like once you start getting into storage. All right. And I'm going to take you through like all 6 steps. All right. All 6 steps. This is the first 6 steps of what you're going to do. All right. In order to get started in self-storage investing. And the first one is that, obviously you need to set up some admin, right? I always say admin or office, right? Really the main thing is you want to have a phone, right? And now this is a phone for you to be able to receive phone calls on from like owners and stuff. So it could be your own personal line or it could be a different line, okay? Because you're going to be building lists and like calling owners. So the question that you have to ask yourself is like, do you want a line? Do you want your own phone line or a different line? So the way that I have it is I have my personal line, which is like for my friends and family, and it has nothing to do with work. And then I have a business line, which is a Google Voice number. And I set it up, it's free. And then I give that business line out to like all the owners. So that way, when somebody's calling me, I know that it's like, if they call me on my Google Voice phone number, I know it's an owner from like a storage facility. Right. So that's kind of how I set it up. So you don't have to do that if you don't want to, but that's how I do it. Because the truth is that you're going to be like talking to a lot of storage facility owners, looking at a lot of deals and stuff. And so I just like to separate work from business. Okay. Work from business is what I do, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to. Another thing is you can work on really the structure of your company, right? You're going to be buying this facility in an LLC. Right? Most likely in an LLC. I would say, yeah, if you're going to buy and hold something, you're going to hold it in an LLC is what you're going to do. Okay. Now, obviously I'm not an attorney. I'm not anybody that can tell you how to structure your business. You should talk to your attorneys about this. But I mean, for the most part, you want to have something that you can buy that's going to be your holding company, right? And that's what we have too. Now, we go through Wyoming is what we do. For our holding companies, for a lot of our holding companies. But you don't have to do that. You can just get it right in your state. Actually, the very first one that we did was in Georgia. And then because we didn't know what we were doing. And then after that, we started going through Wyoming is what we did. Okay. But you don't have to do that. But I highly, highly recommend that you start really educating yourself on like how to truly structure your business the correct way so that you're protected. Because think about this. Okay. Let's just say you buy a house, a residential house. Okay. That is, and you rent it out. Okay. That's going to be one tenant. Right? One tenant that could possibly maybe one day sue you for some reason, right? But when you are in storage, you're going to have a lot of tenants, all right? A lot. So you want to make sure that you separate yourself as far away from those tenants as you can. Okay. So you could buy a storage facility that has 50 or 100 doors, and that means you have 50 or 100 tenants. So that's like, 100 times more than this residential one of like being sued or whatever. Now, obviously we've never been sued or anything, but like, we have, by the end of April, we'll have 2,000 doors and 2,000 tenants. That's a lot of tenants. That's a lot of risk. Right. So for us, like not having anything in our name or being protected is super important. So I highly recommend that if you really want to get into commercial real estate, any real estate at that matter, but commercial real estate, you should be thinking about the structure of your company. Because when I get started in real estate investing, I honestly really, I think I learned a little bit about structure, but I didn't really take it to heart, honestly. I was just like, whatever. And at one point I had 30 rehabs in one company. And then I hired like an accountant to start doing all my stuff. I was doing it all myself. And then I was like, man, this is too much, 30 houses. So then I hired an accountant, and the accountant was like, why do you have so many properties in this one company? Are you crazy? And I was like, maybe, yeah. And so then he was like, you need to get into like better structuring. Like this is way too risky. And so then we started really figuring it out, educating ourselves on like all the different ways that you can structure your businesses, especially if you're going to have a lot of property and stuff. Okay. So I just recommend that you really kind of educate yourself on the LLC or educate yourself on structuring. How are you going to buy commercial property? Okay. And so that's gonna be something that's under admin, you know, and I think these are probably, out of all the things that you do for admin to prepare yourself to really get into storage investing, for me, these are probably the two most important things. I'm gonna put those here so that you guys know, start thinking about that, okay?